Thought I'd buried my past forever, until my ex walked in as my boss. Chapter 1. A Face from the Past. My name is Emma Carter. I'm 26 years old, and today is supposed to be the beginning of a brand new life. After years of struggling, after nights of crying into my pillow, after telling myself over and over that I could rise again, I finally landed the job I worked so hard for. Assistant manager at Donovan Enterprises. To most people, it's just a company name. To me, it's a chance to prove I'm not broken anymore. It's proof that I rebuilt myself from the ground up. I tug lightly at the sleeve of my blazer. It's navy blue, neat and sharp, though my hands tremble as I smooth the fabric. "You can do this, Emma," I whisper under my breath. My reflection in the glass wall nearby shows a young woman trying to look braver than she feels. I practice a smile, even though my heart is thumping like a drum. The receptionist, a cheerful woman with a headset tucked against her ear, waves me toward the main conference room. My heels make a clicking sound against the marble floor as I walk down the wide hallway. The building is tall and elegant, filled with shiny glass, polished wood, and the faint smell of fresh coffee drifting from somewhere nearby. My nerves buzz with every step. This isn't just a meeting. This is my chance to make a first impression, to show everyone that I belong here. I press my palm against the cool metal handle of the double doors. My breath catches. Then I push them open. The room is bright, with sunlight pouring through tall windows. A long, polished table stretches across the center, surrounded by chairs already filled with serious-looking managers and team leaders. They glance up at me, some curious, some distracted, pens poised over notepads. But I don't really see them, because at the far end of the table, standing tall in a charcoal gray suit, is a face I never thought I'd see again. Ethan Blake. My stomach twists so hard it feels like I might collapse. My heart doesn't just skip, it trips and falls down a flight of stairs. For a second, the air leaves my lungs and I almost forget how to breathe. 5 years. It has been 5 long years since that night. 5 years since he walked out of my life, leaving questions that burned holes in my chest. 5 years since I promised myself I'd erase every trace of him, and yet, here he is. Ethan Blake, sharper, older, stronger. His presence is like a storm filling the room. His dark eyes sweep across the people at the table, calm and commanding. Then they land on me. Time freezes. For a tiny, fragile moment, I see something flicker in his gaze. Recognition, memory, maybe even regret. My heart leaps and crashes all at once, but as fast as it comes, it's gone. His face hardens into a mask of authority, the kind you wear when feelings are forbidden. "Good morning, everyone," Ethan says, his voice deep and steady, the same voice that used to whisper my name late at night, soft like a promise. Now it's sharp and professional, carrying across the room with no trace of warmth. As the new director of operations, I expect nothing less than excellence. Let's begin. My knees threaten to give out, but somehow I move to a chair at the far end of the table. I grip my pen so tightly it might snap in two. Stay calm, Emma. Stay professional. That's the only rule that matters. The meeting begins. Ethan talks about goals, deadlines, big projects. Everyone nods, scribbling notes. I try to do the same, but my thoughts are tangled. Why him? Why now? Why in this company, on this day, when I finally thought I had escaped him? I lower my eyes to my notepad, trying to avoid his face, but then his voice cuts through the air like a sharp blade. "Miss Carter." I freeze. My head snaps up slowly. His gaze pins me from across the table, heavy as a chain. "Yes, Director?" My voice wobbles even though I beg it not to. "You'll be assisting me directly with the quarterly project," he says. His words are polished, businesslike, but there's an edge to them, something personal only I can hear. "I expect your full commitment." My throat is dry, but I force a nod. "Of course." He looks away, continuing the meeting like nothing happened. But I feel his presence pressing on me as if the whole room is shrinking and there's nowhere to hide. The meeting drags on, though I barely hear half of it. Ethan's voice fills the room, low and steady, and every sound of it pulls me back to memories I've worked so hard to bury. I see flashes, late nights on rooftops, his jacket draped around my shoulders when I was cold, his hand brushing mine like it was the most natural thing in the world. Then the last night. The slammed door. The silence that never ended. I blink hard, forcing myself back to the present. I can't fall apart here, not in front of him, not in front of everyone. I scribble on my notepad, though my pen scratches out nonsense words instead of real notes. Every few minutes, I swear I feel his gaze flicker toward me. Maybe it's my imagination, maybe not. Either way, my pulse races each time. Finally, the meeting comes to an end. Chairs scrape against the floor as managers gather their papers. The room fills with quiet chatter as people shuffle out, already discussing the tasks assigned to them. I want to vanish with them, slip away like smoke before Ethan has the chance to say anything else. I grab my notebook and rise quickly, clutching it to my chest. My eyes are on the door, so close, only a few steps away. Freedom. Miss Carter. The sound of my name freezes me mid-step. His voice is softer this time, almost careful. Slowly, I turn. Ethan stands near the head of the table, his hands tucked in his pockets, watching me with an unreadable expression. The afternoon sun from the tall windows casts shadows across his face, making him look even more serious, even more distant. "Yes, Director?" I say, forcing my tone to stay professional, even though my heart is beating like it's trying to escape my ribcage. He studies me for a long moment, his eyes steady on mine. "It's been a while," he says quietly. The words hit me like a wave. My chest tightens, and the breath I've been holding rushes out. So he remembers. Of course he does. 5 years may have changed the way he dresses, the authority in his voice, but it hasn't erased the past between us. I swallow hard, fighting to keep my face calm. Yes, it has. My voice comes out smaller than I want. 100 questions scream inside me. Why did you leave? Why didn't you explain? Did I ever mean anything to you? But the words stay locked in my throat, too heavy to push out. I straighten my shoulders and clutch my notebook tighter. Now, if you'll excuse me, Director, I have work to do. I turn toward the door before he can answer. My heels echo sharply against the floor as I push through the double doors and step back into the hallway. The air outside the conference room feels cooler, like a splash of water against my overheated skin. I lean back against the wall, one hand pressed against my chest as if that could calm the wild hammering of my heart. For 5 years, I've built walls around myself, brick by brick, promising I'd never let him touch me again. Not my heart, not my life. And yet, with just one look, one word, Ethan has cracked them. The worst part? I don't know if I want those walls repaired, or shattered completely. I close my eyes and take a long breath. Day 1 at Donovan Enterprises, and my carefully planned fresh start has already turned into something far more complicated than I imagined. This isn't just a job anymore. It's a test. A storm I have to survive, and Ethan Blake is at the center of it.